never seen this before, as we have 3 rookies in the NHL this year that are making a serious impact for their teams, and that makes the Calder race this season one of the best we have ever seen in the NHL. We're going to break it all down and who will win the Calder Trophy in this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 72% of you who watch these videos are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening around the NHL and with your favorite team, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is free and you get to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the NHL. But Casey, let's get right into it. This has been one of the craziest seasons, not just for rookies, but in general this season, obviously with the 4 nations, and now we're heading into the playoffs. It's going to be very exciting, but we do have some rookies to talk about, and one of them specifically that will be making his NHL playoff debut this spring with the Montreal Canadiens. But it's been a good rookie crop, and a couple guys are up for the Calder, and it really at this point could go either way, and we're going to break it all down player by player. And the first one I want to get into is a guy who's been very impressive this season. That's Macklin Celebrini, and just last night he became the first rookie to score a hat trick in his rookie season since Austin Matthews in 2016. I know that's hard to believe. I actually didn't believe it when I saw that stat, but he is also, the first Sharks rookie to score a hat trick in his NHL career, or his first season, I should say, since Tomas Hertl in 2013. So some pretty good company there for the Sharks. But Casey, how do you feel about Macklin Celebrini this year? He's been unbelievable. We'll get into some stats in a bit, but even just his performance last night, he's up to 62 points in 66 games this season.
I mean, it's crazy that it's almost been a decade since we've seen a hat trick from a rookie in the NHL. I can't believe that. But Macklin Celebrini has been phenomenal for the San Jose Sharks this year. They have a lot of great rookies down there in San Jose, but Macklin Celebrini has really took charge here and has become the leading rookie point scorer for the Sharks in franchise history, passing that mark last night with a 5-point night. This guy has made the best out of a situation where maybe he doesn't have a lot of people around him. Yes, he does have Tyler Toffoli, which has really helped him out this season, and a lot of guys like Will Smith in this, that he has a lot of supporting cast around him more than some other rookies in the NHL or in their second season, like Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard has nobody. I just want to put that out there. But Macklin Celebrini has been phenomenal. The way this guy is able to move the puck is insane, and the dangles that he puts people, is putting him on notice and putting the San Jose Sharks back on notice, which they haven't really had since the Joe Thornton days, I would say. I mean, they haven't really had a guy there that has turned heads in the NHL like Macklin Celebrini. And obviously being a guy who's up there right now for the Calder race, I don't quite think he is going to win it over a guy like Lane Hutson, we are going to talk about in quite a bit. But there's no doubt that this guy is the future of the NHL, and once they get some guys down there in San Jose, this team is going to be lethal.
Absolutely, and they're already being dubbed as one of the most fun last place teams in the last little while, right? And he is a big reason for that. He's a very good player. He's fun to watch. 5 points last night, 62 points in 66 games so far this season. A lot of people do believe that he should win the Calder, and again, he's putting up some impressive numbers, not just Sharks history, but, he's also the first rookie this season to score a hat trick. Didn't mention that, in talking about all the hat tricks, the first rookie this season, and, the first in a long time, which is pretty hard to believe, and good company there in Sharks history as well. But to move along, like mentioned, Lane Hutson. He's been absolutely electric this season and literally making history with the Montreal Canadiens, with a franchise like the Montreal Canadiens, right? Like with all the history that they have. So he's been unbelievable. Just the other night, making Justin Holl look like not even an AHLer. I mean, that play was unbelievable. That was a McDavid-esque play there from Lane Hutson. So Casey, I'll throw it over to you again. I mean, this is your guy. I think that this is the guy too who's going to win the Calder this year. I mean, just what he's been able to do for his team. The other guys are impressive. We're going to get to one more player as well that I think will be up for it and could possibly win it, honestly. But Lane Hutson, I think he's been fantastic this season, and it's hard to argue him not winning the Calder this year.
Yeah, my lifetime as a Montreal Canadiens fan, This is the best player I've seen lace up the skates for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to go out there and say that. This guy is so skilled for a defenseman, and he's even skilled for a forward. I would say if you put him on the wing, he would even excel. This guy is insane. The way he's able to move the puck around through threading these passes by making these insane cutback dekes that we're seeing from him. This guy is sending defensemen into a different dimension. He's turning them into beer league defensemen at times when he slides down this wing. He has been insane for this Montreal Canadiens, and I'm gonna go out and say it. He is the reason that the Montreal Canadiens are in a playoff spot today and are most likely going to make the playoffs. Without Lane Hutson's impact on the back end for this Montreal Canadiens team, they do not get to where they are. This guy has like 24 power play assists. That's just on the power play. That's how good this guy has been for the Montreal Canadiens this season, and he's looking like he's been in the league for 5 years and he's established. It's his first year and he's doing this. I can't wait to see what this guy is going to do once he has a little bit more experience, because I think this guy could be up there for one of the next best NHL players. Players in general, not defensemen. He's definitely going to be the next best NHL defenseman. This guy is on fire. He is the reason the Montreal Canadiens have had a lot of success this season, and I really hope it continues, because I think Lane Hutson is the front runner for the Calder right now, no doubt about it.
He's been fantastic. And I mean, in terms of rookies, it's hard to argue him not winning, like I just said, right? Like I think he's going to win. I think he is the one who's going to be the rookie of the year this year. It's hard to argue. And like you said, it's his first year. Like, imagine what he's going to do 3 years into, because, you know, sometimes there's a sophomore slump. We've seen that with other players like Austin Matthews, for example, but which wasn't even that bad. But anyway, you know, sometimes that happens. So I'm looking at 3 or 4 years into his career. What's the ceiling for a player like this, right? Like, he's putting up insane numbers. So Montreal has a really good player there, and he is the reason that they're in the playoffs, right? Like, yes, they have some good players there, but what he's been able to do for this team this year is unbelievable. And as you can see here from Dom Lucian as well at The Athletic, Hutson is a top 10 defenseman in net rating for the season already. He's a rookie, right? But he obviously looks even better since November 26th, because he did start the season a little bit slow and there were some question marks, but he's really found his game and he's gotten adjusted to the league very quickly. And, you know, again, if you look at this, he's up there in terms of impact with Cale Makar and Zach Werenski, who, you know, Werenski has had a fantastic season in his own right? So he's up there with some of the best in the NHL. And like you mentioned, the power play assists, not just the power play assists, but his assists in general this season. He's up to 64 points on the year. He only has 6 goals. He has 58 assists on the season. He's been unbelievable, and everyone tends to forget, yes, he's a rookie. He's only 21 years old. Like, he has a lot of time left. And the one thing, and I've mentioned this in a previous video on the channel before, that really impressed me with Lane Hutson is how much he plays. He's averaging almost 23 minutes a night as a rookie. That's very impressive to me, to not only play that much, but to have as much of an impact as he has had all season. And he's just the 5th rookie defenseman in NHL history to score 50 assists in a single season. 5th rookie defenseman all time. Think of the names that are up there, right? He's putting up incredible numbers. So Casey, any final thoughts on Lane Hutson before we move on to our last player here, because he's had an unbelievable season?
Yeah, this guy has been a very welcomed surprise by Montreal Canadiens fans. At the beginning of the season, Boston fans, Toronto fans, every fan base who hates the Montreal Canadiens said, oh, Lane Hutson's a bad defender. Look at that plus minus. Well, look at it now. This guy is probably a top 10 defenseman in the league right now. Like you said, from the stats, he is there and has been a phenomenal addition for this team. And there was a lot of question marks coming into the season. He's proved the haters wrong and shown that he belongs in the NHL and he belongs as a top pairing defenseman for this Montreal Canadiens team for the future. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for Lane Hutson, and I really hope he can continue this momentum into the playoffs, because the Montreal Canadiens will definitely need it in that first round matchup.
Absolutely. I am not a Habs fan by any means, but I do believe that this is the guy who's going to win the Calder. It's hard to argue against it. But the last player we'll touch on here before we wrap up is Matvei Michkov. Cannot, forget about him. He's had a really good season despite everything that's happened in Philly with John Tortorella, and the fact that John Tortorella very openly did not like this player. And I think that he's a lot better than he's shown so far in his NHL career. And Matvei Michkov points per 60 minutes in his rookie season versus all seasons from the last 5 first overall draft picks. He's first He's first. He's putting up some crazy numbers this year. And a lot of it is after John Tortorella has been fired, right? He's had a really good stretch in the last few games now that he's been unleashed and he's able to play his game, right? John Tortorella wants people and players to play a certain way. Michkov did not fit that mold, but now he's been unleashed a little bit and he's showing what he can do. And I think for Flyers fans, they knew what they were getting in him. Like, he's a very skilled player and he's going to be able to do stuff like this. And now that he's unleashed, I'm looking forward to see what he can do next season too. So he's had a good season. And again, he's 1 goal away from 25 goals on the season. And the last the last Flyers rookie, to do that was Michael Renberg in 1993-94. So, pretty good company there for, the Flyers prospect here. And, a great player for the Flyers, I think. But Casey, how do you feel about Michkov? Is he up there top, in terms of top 3, where does he rank for you? I think maybe second for me. He's had a really good impact for the Flyers, and I know Flyers fans are really looking forward to see what he can do in the future.
Yeah, I think, I'm a huge Macklin Celebrini fan, but I think he has to be second here because of, he doesn't really have many people around him, and now we're finally getting to see the true Matvei Michkov, because I didn't think John Tortorella was holding him back as much as he was, and I think Tortorella's a great coach, no doubt about it, but he isn't good for a young team. He needs to have those veterans. He needs to have that playoff, veteran type team, and holding Michkov back was the failure for the Philadelphia Flyers this season, because as soon as Tortorella got sacked, we see this guy go out, have a 3-point night, 2 goals, and then the game after have 2 more goals after that. And he had 4 goals in 2 games, 5 points in 2 games. So we're seeing how much he held him back and how much he wanted him to play a certain role in his system. But that's not the player Michkov is. I followed this guy heavily before he got drafted because he was rumored to come to the Montreal Canadiens at one point. And this is a guy who, when he has the puck on his stick, he is able to make magic work with it. And that's the type of player he is. He can't, sit at the top of the circle like an Ovechkin and just try to wire home shots, because that's not how this guy's wired. He's wired more like a Lane Hutson and a Macklin Celebrini, where they're pure skill. He needs to have the puck and be able to do what he wants with it, and if he screws up, not be yelled and sat on the bench the entire game. And that's what Tortorella's all about, and that's why we didn't see the side of Michkov we thought we were going to at the beginning of the season. But now at the end of the season, we're starting to see this. And once they get a coach that's more, into letting the players be like they want to be, like a Martin St. Louis, I think this guy's going to thrive. And I think next season, even if he does have a little bit of a sophomore slump, we're going to see a truer Michkov than what we've seen this entire season. And
I think that's exciting for not only Flyers fans, obviously, but the rest of the NHL, because, what have we been missing out on? We've seen the last month or so, right? We're missing out on a really good rookie season from this player. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the way. I don't know if he has enough runway to end up winning the Calder. This model and some of the advanced analytics has Macklin Celebrini being the winner or the most deserving in terms of some advanced analytics. But again, that's just this model. I thought it was very interesting. And then obviously Michkov would be second on this list and Lane Hutson third. I kind of have it the opposite way myself personally. Yeah. But just wanted to bring that up before we wrap up here. But we want to hear what you have to say about the current Calder race in the NHL. It's been one of the craziest ones in a few years. I mean, last year we knew who was winning even a couple of years ago, right? It's been pretty obvious. So, this one has been very exciting, and I think it's still up in the air, but for my money, I think it's Lane Hutson. But we want to hear what you have to say in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything going on in the NHL.